Namo Namaha Bhaktam Sarvesham Hartam Swagatam. Welcome back to the channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. And continuing in a series learning Sanskrit through Gita, we will take up today the 33rd shloka from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Again, a fairly easy shloka, both grammatically and contextually also. So, what is the shloka and what we can learn from it? Without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in today's video. Okay, so this is the shloka that we will decode today. Let me go through the shloka once. Atha chetvam imam dharmyam संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततस्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापम अवाप्स्यसि. Okay, so this is the original shloka and this is the Sandhi Vichcheda of the shloka. But actually, if you see these padas, so suppose we have this Sanyukta pada Chetvam Imam, and when you do the Vichcheda, so there is Chet, Tvam and Imam. So even though there are three individual padas, Chet, Tvam and Imam, but they are not combining due to Sandhi. They are just combining as the words in Sanskrit they combine. So it is a halant consonant combining with the adjacent another letter. Same thing is happening here. Papam avapsyasi. So these are two individual padas. Papam avapsyasi. But there is no Sandhi that is happening here. So actually in this entire shloka, there is no Sandhi that is happening. So we will directly move to the decoding of the shloka. But there is still the PDF that is available for you to download. And the entire, all the different words, their entire decoding, everything is given in that PDF. So you can download that PDF from the link in the description box. Now let us start the decoding. Okay, so we are starting with these two padas, ath chet. Okay, so ath chet, they translate as now if. Okay, and both these padas, they are individually avyas, they are indeclinables. Where atha, this means this and now. Okay, and here and now, we say no, atha Shri Mahabharat Katha. In Doordarshanam, we used to have this episode. So atha and now, Mahabharat Katha. Okay. So this avyay atha means now. This sometimes is also translated as but. And this another pada, chet, this is very similar to what we have in Sanskrit, yadi. And yadi means if. Okay. So together, ath chet, this simply means now if. Okay. That Krishna, having said something in the previous shlokas, he is just continuing his dialogue. So now if I ask him, what? So we get the response, na karishyasi. Okay. Actually it is tvam na karishyasi, which translates as you will not do. Okay. And here, this is the only pada that we need to understand, karishyasi. So this is the kriya pada, as you can all notice. And a lot of you will identify the dhatu also. It is a kri dhatu, that means to do. And which form is this? So it is kri dhatu in rit lakara, that is future tense. And second person, that is madhyama purush. Why? Because Krishna is directly speaking this to Arjuna. So Madhyama Purush second person and singular ekvachanam. So Kri Dhatu in these properties becomes Karishyasi. And Kri means to do. So Karishyasi in future tense. This will mean you will do. Okay. But here in our shloka, this pada is preceded by this na Karishyasi. So the meaning is negated. You will not do. Okay. That is the sense. And see, just by this form, Karishyasi, since it is the Madhyama Purush form, so we know that a second person is doing the action. You will not do. But still, there is this tvam that is given, coming from the second person pronoun Yushmad. Okay, so Asmad is a first person pronoun from which we get Aham, and Yushmad is the second person pronoun from which we get this Tvam. That translates as you. But now if we move on, so we can ask this question that Kam na karishyasi, that what you will not do. So we get the response Ath che tvam imam sangramam na karishyasi. Imam sangramam, this translates as this battle. Okay, so the sangramam is coming from the pratipadika sangrama, and sangrama means this battle, and you can also write war. And Krishna is saying to Arjuna that if you will not do the battle, if you will not do the war, so this sangrama, this is the karma of this kriya karishyasi. So we know sangrama here is in dvitiya vibhakti ekvachanam, right? So this pratipadika sangrama becomes sangramam. That is what you see in the shloka. And then this imam sangramam, so imam, this is just the pronoun. Okay, and which pronoun is this? So this is the idam. This is the pratipadika, idam pronoun. And idam, this represents this, right? So we are basically saying that if you will not fight this battle, if you will not fight this war, to show this, we are using the sarvanama idam. And this idam, of course, will be also in Tutiya Vibhakti and Ekvachanam, because it has to match the Vibhakti and Vachan of its noun. And actually not just Vibhakti and Vachan, but also its gender. So since this sangrama is the masculine gender pratipadika, so this idam also will be this masculine gender Dutiya Vibhakti Ekvachanam form, which is this imam. So imam sangramam na karishyasi, this battle. Okay, so I hope up till this point it is fairly clear. And here Krishna is also describing this battle with some adjective. That is why I'm asking Kidrisham Sangramam. And the response is Imam Dharmyam Sangramam. And Dharmyam, this is again coming from the Pratipadika Dharmya. And this word we have already seen in the 31st shloka. And Dharmya means something that is abounding in dharma. So something that is dharma yukta. So something basically that is righteous. And since dharmya, this is being used as an adjective for this sangrama. So this will also take the same form, the masculine gender, dutiya vibhakti and singular form. So dharmya, this is changing into dharmyam. Okay. And with this together, Krishna is saying atachet. And now if nakarishyasi, if you will not do imam dharmyam sangramam, if you will not do this righteous war, if you will not fight this righteous battle, that is what Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Okay, so I hope till this point it is clear. And now, when he has created this scenario that if Arjuna is not going to fight this righteous war, then what will happen? That is why I'm asking this question, Tataha Kim? That then what? And Krishna says, Tataha avapsyasi. And avapsyasi, this means you will attain to. Okay, you will attain to or you will incur. Well, we say you will incur this, you will incur that in that sense. So basically, Athachet, with this first he created a scenario that now if you are not going to do this, Tataha, so then or thereafter, this is what is going to happen. So Tataha means thereafter, and in this, in the context of shloka, this means so then. Okay, so then this will happen. And this avapsyasi, so this kriya pada, in this kriya pada, we have the dhatu ab dhatu. Okay, and ab dhatu means to obtain something, to get something. And this ab dhatu also, just like this karishyasi, this also is in lit lakara, that is future tense, madhyama purush, because this kriya pada is addressed to Arjuna. And ekvachanam, that is singular. So ab dhatu in lit lakara madhyama purush ekvachanam becomes apsyasi, which means you will obtain or you will attain to or you will incur. So any of these meaning can be taken. And avapsyasi, so you can very easily identify that ava here is the prefix, it is the upsarga, but the meaning still stays the same, that you will obtain, you will incur in that sense. And the question is, Kim avapsyasi, that Arjuna will attain to what? So Krishna is saying, Tataha papam avapsyasi. And papam, very straightforward, means sin. And about this form papam, so very clearly, the pratipadika is papa, and here it is in dutiya vibhakti ekvachanam. Again, why? Because this is the karma of this kriya. Okay, and that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna, that if you Arjuna are not going to fight in this righteous war, then you are going to incur sin. You are going to attain to sin. And see, there is some more information. So I am asking this question, Kim Kritva, that he will attain to sin having done what? And for that we get Tataha Hitva. And this Hitva, this is coming from Hi Dhatu. Hi Dhatu basically means to go or it means to leave. And this Dhatu is being modified using Tva Pratyaya. Okay, because I want to say that after leaving, okay, or having left. Or in the context of the shloka, it means having abandoned or having disregarded, having neglected. Why I'm using these words is, it will be clear when we further decode the shloka. So I'm asking the question, Kim Hitva? So we have these two padas, Swadharmam, Kirtim cha Hitva. This Swadharmam is coming from the Pratipadika Swadharma, and this Kirtim is coming from the Pratipadika Kirti. Okay, the meaning is Swadharma, one's own moral duty, and Kirti, the glory, the fame, the reputation in that sense. Okay, so I hope all these padas are clear. Let us quickly see the Anvaya along with the translation now. And actually when you will do the Anvaya of the shloka, you will realize that the order in which the original shloka is given, that is the same order we have for Anvaya also. Okay, so we actually have to do no shifting, no rearrangement of the words. This is exactly as the way the meaning is intended. And what is that meaning? So Krishna is saying that Athachet, and now if Tvam na karishyasi, you will not do or you will not fight imam dharmyam sangramam, this righteous war. So Krishna is saying that now if you will not fight this righteous war, tataha, then swadharmam kirtim cha hitva, then having abandoned your own moral duty, that is swadharma, and your righteous glory or your reputation, that is this kirti, papam avapsisi, finally you will attain to sin, you will incur sin. Okay, so that was the shloka. See, in this particular shloka, where Krishna has said that you, Arjuna, will incur sin, you will incur papa. So when we hear this word sin or papa, so we generally attribute this word with all the unrighteous acts. Any act that is going to harm other, that is going to injure other. So that we say is sin or papa. And we generally attribute this sin, this papa and punya with, if you do sin, if you do papa, you are going to go to hell or narak. If you do punya or good things, you are going to heaven or swarga. So we generally keep this sin, this papa, limited to this understanding only. But see, as Shri Chinmayananda has explained, that in Hinduism, this sin, this papa, this basically means the mistake of mind. And what is the mistake of mind? So, mind, when it acts contrary or in opposition to our own essential nature. So, when it acts contrary to our own essential nature, every that kind of act is a sin, is a papa. Okay. Now, what is our essential nature? So, at the highest philosophical level, our essential nature is Satchidanand, Satchit Anand. But we are not going to talk about that because that is way above us. We have to talk about in the perspective of this world and the worldly affairs. So, what is our essential nature? Our essential nature is to act according to our own inner talent, according to our innate tendencies, making best use of our mind and intellect and such equipments for the benefit of others, for the benefit of ourselves also, but for the benefit of others also. See, in our four Purushartha, the four main goals of any human life, we are told Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Moksha is the finality. But before that, we have Artha and Kama. Artha is you chase your desires. Kama is you chase your desires. Artha is material and all kind of prosperity. But the first is Dharma. That even if you are chasing your desires, even if you are chasing your prosperity, all this should be done under the guidance of dharma. So it has to be righteous, right? So here, Arjuna, due to his own innate tendencies, due to his own innate nature, he is a Kshatriya. And it's not that he is a Kshatriya at this moment, he's always been a Kshatriya in this life. And now, if he's going to not fight, then he's acting opposite to his essential nature because his Swadharma is telling him to fight. Okay, no, generally, when a parent, he or she forces their kids to do something else. Suppose a kid is interested in painting or drawing, and if you try to make an engineer or a banker, an economist out of him, then he will be miserable and he will be a very poor economist and engineer. Even if he is a great engineer, but he will be miserable because his innate tendencies, his innate nature, his talent lies towards art. Okay, so same thing Arjuna is doing here, that he is acting contrary to his own nature. And whenever our mind acts contrary to our own essential nature, that all is a sin, that all is a papa. Okay, so not just attribute papa with swarg, nark, and heaven and hell and all that thing, that is very limited. Try to understand this papa or sin in a broader perspective so that you can apply in your day-to-day life. Okay, that sin or papa is a mistake of a mind, and mistake of a mind is going against your own essential nature. Okay, see, our essential nature is pure bliss, joy, Satchidanand, Anand, right? But then, if we chase only the material wealth, if we chase only and only material wealth with the hope that we are going to get that peace, that happiness, that joy, so again, that is a foolish idea, and that is why majority of us are miserable. Majority of us are always chasing. They are always chasing. Even when they are 80 or 85, 90, their hunger, their thirst is still there. They are still not satisfied and they can never be because they are chasing the wrong thing. They are going against their own essential nature. Okay, so that is why they are miserable. And all the things they are doing is a sin, a papa. Okay, so in this way we have to understand these things. See, even the simple verses like this, because grammatically we have seen both grammatically also and translation wise also, this is a pretty straightforward verse. Okay, that if you will not do this, you will incur sin. But when we read bhashya or when we read commentary, these are the subtle points that our great acharyas, that our gurus are able to inform to us. Because if we don't follow these Bhagavad Gita verses without any commentary, without any bhashya, then we are only going to understand what our limited mind and intellect can understand. But when we read bhashya and commentary on them, then we get the proper, true meaning of these verses. And then we get a broader perspective. Our perspective increases, it expands. So that is why I always suggest that please, I can only share a portion, a bit of it. But please follow these Sanskrit verses, these Bhagavad Gita verses with some bhashya commentary on them. But anyways, that was it. So again, a beautiful verse, a lot to be thought upon, pondered upon on this verse also. I hope grammatically everything was clear. You have the PDF sheet, you can refer to it. If case I missed out something or you have any doubt, I'll meet you now with another shloka in another video. Until then, stay awesome, stay happy, keep learning Sanskrit. Vayam punah milamaha. Dhanyavad.